Welcome to Foundational Frameworks Applied AI Systems Lab. Over the next 8 modules, we're going to focus on one thing, and that is using AI to create measurable progress on work that matters in your life. This is not a program about collecting tools, although we will talk about a lot of different AI tools. This is not a program about chasing new AI trends, although we'll touch on those too. What this course is about is identifying opportunities that you care about, improving workflows in your life, building systems that are useful to you, validating ideas, and creating real-world results. The question we start with is, where does AI actually belong? By the end of this program, you will have developed an AI opportunity roadmap, your own research and decision workflows, systems and automation that support you in the work that you do, AI-powered application concepts and strategies, governance considerations, and a practical implementation roadmap. Before continuing, take a moment now to access the link in the chat, or you can find the link in the description of this video if you're watching the recording. This is the workbook for this module, so make sure that you're able to access it. Take a moment to go to page 2, where you'll find some examples of good and bad use cases. I'm going to give you a moment to navigate over there, make a copy of the workbook. And then while you're there, I want you to consider, what do you hope AI will help you accomplish? Take a moment to think about that. Some examples could be saving time, finishing a project, growing or starting a business, improving a workflow for you or for your team, or maybe creating something new or a creative endeavor. Take notes as we go along. As always, this is a lab, not a lecture. So consider, most people approach AI backwards. They start with ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or whatever the newest AI tool or trend is. And then they ask, what can I do with this? Successful implementation starts entirely differently. Before choosing a tool, start with, where are the friction points? Where are the bottlenecks in your work? What's some repetitive task that you or your team keep spending all their time on, or delays that come up frequently? Or maybe they're missed opportunities entirely, lack of bandwidth. So take a moment to look in your life now, in your work, in your personal life, and determine how AI can support with the solution. The correct order is problem and then workflow and then AI solution, not AI tool and then searching for a problem to fix it with. For example, a weak approach to this question would be, we should start using ChatGPT. A better approach would be, our proposal process takes 6 hours and creates delays. How can we improve it? So consider, what is one problem you would love to solve this year? You can take notes in your workbook or in your favorite tool, on your phone, on pen and paper. I don't care. Just make sure you're writing it down. What is one problem you would love to solve this year? Once you have an idea, head on over to page 4 of your workbook and start filling in your potential use case ideas. Keeping in mind here that AI works best when tasks are repetitive and predictable. Things that are time-consuming or maybe documentation heavy. There are some examples here on the screen, and we'll talk through some others. Let's say you're working in operations. Some examples could be reporting, generating documentation, process improvement, the creation of standard operating procedures or policies. Now, some potential projects you might want to work on if you're in operations is automating your weekly reporting or generating policy documents. You could possibly create an internal knowledge assistant. Don't worry if you don't know what that means, it'll come up again. Maybe you're a leader of the company, in which case some examples might be strategic planning or meeting preparation, creating agendas, support with internal communication or decision making. Potential projects could be creating meeting summaries or preparing briefing documents, or analyzing options before decisions. Now, let's say you're in marketing. Some examples of use cases would be generating content, campaign planning, or audience research. And some potential projects could be building a content workflow or content calendar, analyzing customer feedback, or generating campaign ideas or surveys. I'll go through just a few more, just to jog your memory, get you thinking about what are some things that would really matter to you in your work. If you're in customer support, you could use AI to generate a frequently asked questions document or intake forms, new client forms, drafting responses, or customer communication. And some projects in this field could be improving the onboarding process or automating common responses. It's also a great tool for research, searching information, organizing resources. Some potential projects in knowledge management could be building a resource library, organizing documents, or creating searchable information systems. So I know that was a lot. I'm going to give you another minute or two to write your ideas. If you're stumped at this point, I want you to go over to page 5 of your workbook and find the prompt we provided for you called AI Discovery Prompt. That's on page 5 of your workbook. Head over there, copy it, and then go over to your favorite AI tool, ChatGPT, Claude, or whatever it might be, and paste it there. And that'll help you with generating ideas. While you're thinking, just a quick word of caution. AI should not, repeat, AI should not independently handle final hiring decisions, final firing decisions, legal determinations, anything medical diagnoses or private HIPAA information, any kind of high-risk decisions that require accountability. These types of things require human judgment, review, and responsibility. And also, as I say often, and you'll definitely hear me say again, when in doubt about if something is private information, leave it out of AI. When in doubt, leave it out. You should not put any private information into AI, like social security numbers, credit card numbers, anything like that. So just being careful if you're copying and pasting things that nothing like that accidentally gets pasted in there, and that you don't build anything like that into your workflow. It's just a quick word of caution there. Just repeat that one more time quickly. AI should not independently handle final hiring or firing decisions. Doesn't mean you can't use it to brainstorm ideas, but it should not make the final decision. Same with legal determinations, medical diagnoses, or any kind of high-risk decision that requires accountability. So wrap up whatever you're writing now. At this point, you should have lots of ideas. Make sure you have written down at least 3 tasks that consume significant amounts of yours or your team's time. You don't have to overthink this, doesn't have to be perfect, you're not stuck with it. Just make sure you have at least 3 ideas that really would make a difference for you in your life. All right, so we're going to move forward to making a decision about what project you want to focus on for this course. We're going to do that using this formula. A strong AI opportunity usually combines frequency, time consumed, and predictability. That'll give you the opportunity potential for that use case. So you should have at least 3 ideas by now. So I'd like you to take a moment to consider each of these three factors for those use cases you have written down. How often does it happen? How much effort does it require? And does it follow a repeatable process? That's your opportunity potential. For example, your weekly reporting process, perhaps, something that you do frequently, at least once a week, consumes a lot of time and is highly predictable. That would be a strong candidate for your project. So go through each of your use cases and assign a score to each of them. Frequency, time consumed, and predictability, and that'll give you your potential value. Support you with making your decision on what your project is going to be. All right, so start to finish up here. Make a commitment to what it is you want to work on in this course. Now complete your AI opportunity map. You can see a version of this on the screen as well as in your workbook. Think through all of your notes and ideas and be decisive here. I want you to narrow down to one high-value use case before we end in the next 10 minutes. Choose just one. You can use what you learn in this course to go back and complete the others later. I want you to select one opportunity to be your project for this course. This will become your focus throughout the entire Applied AI Systems Lab. So ask yourself, which opportunity creates the greatest impact? Which opportunity feels achievable? Which opportunity, perhaps most importantly, would you actually be motivated to complete? And then write down your project. Make a commitment to yourself to follow through on this as you write it down. Now, here's your assignment. Complete your AI opportunity map. You should have documented your top 3 opportunities, what the current problem is, what yours or your team's current process is, and a potential AI solution, as well as the expected benefit you could gain from it. You should have 3 ideas, and then select your primary project. Remember where we started. We talked about how the biggest mistake people make with AI is they start with tools. The strongest AI projects start with the problem that's actually worth solving. Over the next modules, we will move from opportunity to research to systems and then automation and application. We'll look at validating ideas, how to govern these systems, and how to implement them, especially across teams. We'll look for friction and bottlenecks as well as opportunities. And I'm going to leave this slide up here so that if you get stuck, you can reach us. There's our email address, our website, and you can scan this QR code to book a call directly on our calendar. Questions are expected. Again, this is a lab, not a lecture, so please utilize these contact methods to get in touch with us. If you haven't yet, take a look at the other prompts in the workbook that can support with identifying high-value use cases. If you've already finished everything that we've covered and you went through the whole workbook, then I will see you back here next Monday.